Understanding organizations in nonprofit program evaluation first involves defining the organization, which will be a collective of individuals gathered together to serve a particular purpose, and the purpose then would be an objective or an outcome. There are four frames to describe organizations. The structural frame describes the role of structural architecture in determining roles and relationships and assigning tasks within the organization. The human the human relations frame examines the relationships among people and how people relate to the organization. The political frame sees organizations as arenas in which power and politics play out among individuals and groups, and the symbolic frame views the organization as an interplay of artifacts, values, and underlying beliefs. Distinctions between these approaches: the descriptive approach intends to provide a means of analyzing organizations in terms of certain characteristics or procedures. This is a sociological approach. This, you could also think of it as process oriented. The prescriptive approach provides how-to guides to build better organizations, and that's of course a product-oriented perspective. Organizational structure is the way relationships are constituted among persons within an organization. Individuals working in concert can accomplish more than the same number of individuals working independently, and the focus is on division of labor so there are no gaps or overlap. Two of the biggest threats to revenue in all businesses tends to be gaps and overlap, so all businesses must regularly assess for gaps and overlap. Authority here is defined as power wielded with the consent of those being led. There are three forms. The first is traditional authority, which is a right to govern bestowed upon royalty. Authority rests in the ruler's claim to historic and ancestral rights of control, can be passed from generation to generation. The next is charismatic authority, which is the dominance exercised by an individual through extraordinary personal heroism, skill, or traits. Tends to be unstable and transitional because authority is tied to an individual rather than to a position. Then you have rational or legal authority. That's power assigned on the basis of ability to achieve instrumental goals, and it's derived from the legitimacy given to rational rules and processes forming expertise instead of hereditary claims. Evidence-based management then focuses on the tendency of people to make decisions based on personal experience, overall impressions, and instincts or gut feelings. EBM, evidence-based management, proponents agree experience has merit, but managers cannot make good decisions based on practice wisdom alone. You combine the three elements, which includes findings from empirical research, which is the research component, expertise of administrators, which is the experience component, and of course information regarding the preference of service users, which is the client component. Very similar to evidence-based practice, evidence-based management.